have anything.
But he has plenty of things he can play.
No, for Kali.
Oh.
Yeah. So, way to go, Mark.
It's one thing to know the secrets and one to be able to execute on them well. With these bans...
That's true. This is why I'm a gold player. I know all the secrets. I can't do half of them.
Me neither, man. That Swain seems like quite the throwaway ban. We'll see what else they get rid of here. I expect the Alistar ban actually still, because even though you're going to be giving up something like Rakan or Grom still, I think the Alistar for Quanas looks so good it still might deserve that ban.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they choose to do. Maybe they also do a throwaway ban, because that Swain is kind of saying we want to leave a lot of stuff up here to have the most options available on what to go with. And it's the LeBlanc. I mean, no surprise. Peckenwolf really kind of showed why it's been getting banned all series long.
We soloed.
Yeah, solo kill on the Golden Glue and then played team fights and skirmishes pretty well. But that doesn't mean the Alistar for Quan, if he wants it.
Patience. 7 seconds. Ooh, okay. Aatrox coming in again for FlyQuest.
Yeah, I think for C9, the idea of letting it slip through the first phase only works once, because as soon as FlyQuest shows that they're willing to play it, the priority will bump up for C9, and then they'll have to take the pick first. That's why C9 grabs it there, or excuse me, FlyQuest grabs it there, as opposed to in the second game of the series where they were able to get it in the second round. As a response, C9 instantly grabbed that Poppy for Shiro again, looked fantastic, and the Kaisa.
Kaisa love this series. Epic game.
It's a little surprising considering we've seen some Kaisa drop off in other regions in play with Varus and Ashe and other stuff cropping up a little bit more, but it's still a super strong champion, as we've already seen this series and previous ones in Academy playoffs, so not a bad pickup for themselves. There's that Braum that we're talking about getting through. Looks like they're going for that instead of the Alistar.
So they've banned the Braum more than the Alistar, but now the Braum is let through. Has a mistake been made? No, I'm just kidding.
We'll see.
Yeah. So the Trundle does get locked in as well. A lot of that Freljord coming in for FlyQuest Academy today. And we'll see what the final Cloud9 Academy is here. Looking for that jungler if they keep it true to picks in Phase 1.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised to see that this does give them the opportunity to ban out AD carry now that they were using previously in Game 2 in the Tristana to punish the Kaisa. Will not get the opportunity here. C9 matches the other roles, so you can expect some support bans out of FlyQuest and some AD carry bans. There's the Varus. We'll see if they actually go for the Tristana or go for the Ashe again. It's not quite the all-in lane with the Alistar that they have from the previous one, so it's not quite the kill threat, as well as the fact that C9 is holding their support pick.
Do you go Xayah Rakan?
I don't think so. I think you're gonna leave that. I don't think you want to put that Braum mid or whatever.
Oh yeah, they have Braum.
Yeah,
I keep looking away from the top in the satisfied picks.
Yeah. So
they have.
Definitely, the Tristana feels a little less appetizing without that Alistar, but we'll see. That is what they decide to leave up.
That's true. I said they match picks, but they didn't. I forgot that Braum was in there, and it's not the AD carry, so they are pinching out the supports now on Fang.
Yep. So the Alistar gone, Rakan gone, the Morgana still up, which is something we've seen before out of him. And that's what they did on their previous Red Side game. It should work well. Again, it's, like we said, a champion with a lot of good matchups into the meta supports. Braum's passive being very telegraphed, and you can put the E on right before the fourth proc gets activated to block the stun. Or you can just block the actual projectile that goes flying at your face, and no surprise, there's the Morgana pick.
A little more Janna for the pickup.
Morgana?
Morgana.
You're going to confuse people, man. Snorgana, Morgana.
I was more going off GIF and GIF, but yeah, it does turn into Janna. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying. I was like, you say more Janna. They haven't picked Janna at all this series. What are you talking about?
It is Morgana.
I got you now.
What are we picking here for Airy?
Wow.
Go for the Kog'Maw protection. Okay, he has a bit from the Braum, but not much in raising a Kog'Maw.
They do have a very beefy front line, and we might see the second Aurelion Soul game out of Peckenwolf here.
15 seconds, locked in.
All right, so I actually like this a little bit more than the first game that we saw because you actually have lanes that you want to snowball on both sides. As soon as you make it obvious that you only want to go bot lane by matching tanks up on the top side, that cuts out some of the power of the Aurelion Soul pick because he can get to any side lane so quickly and influence those. So I do like it a lot more with a lane-dominant top laner and a pick you want to get ahead in the bot side, so you actually have the option to go either, and it makes jungling for Svenskeren on the Graves a lot harder to cover where he's going to go. You can't just hover around bot lane and know, I need to be here whenever Aurelion Soul shows up. Now you might need to be on either side of the map. So I like that. And once again, C9 rounded out their comp. It's very similar to what we saw in Game 2 with the double shielding mages to protect the hyper carry Kai'Sa.
See how hard Keith goes in on this one. Actually has quite a backline to follow him up this time. Shiro going in to create a little bit of chaos too. Like you said, those shields they can use to disrupt after the shockwave. Looking at the other side of FlyQuest, definitely has the chance to still move around the map. We heard what Wiggly said and what Meteos was doing the one game and surfing around the map. Definitely can do that with the frozen domain of Trundle. Make sure you're in everybody's lane and in everybody's face.
And there's a lot of zone control on the side of FlyQuest Academy's comp. You have Braum, obviously Trundle as well, giving a ton. Peckinwoof's Aurelion Soul. Having those orbs flying around makes it hard to walk up and try and threaten the Kog'Maw. So either you're going to need to 100-0 the Kog'Maw.
That's a good point, yeah.
With some kind of combination between Golden Glue and Shiro's Poppy, or you're going to need to actually just straight out fight them front to back, and you have a lot more defense on the side of FlyQuest Academy with effectively 3.5 frontliners, as Aurelion Soul often likes to play that kind of mid line.
C9 Academy on game point, looking to right what they felt would be a wrong history in the way this semifinal played out last time. FlyQuest now looks to have another win to keep themselves in and will be pushed to a final and 5th game. We're about to be on to the Rift to see if C9 can put the nail in the coffin here for the semifinals.
Here we go. We'll see if we get another 5-game series. We've been blessed with them all playoffs long.
Why stop here?
Yeah, why not? Get one more in there. But
all right.
I think C9 would be very happy to not have to risk that after some of the traumas of the last split. And we got Darkstar versus Darkstar, kind of. Well, Aurelion Soul is not really Darkstar. It's just a typical skin, but it's still confusing. All the
Oriana's still a good one though.
Our Darkstar Oriana.
It's probably one of my favorite. Quan skin as well, the new Brahms. Oh,
Moneybag.
So good. Amazing. Whole big old vault door. Let's see what they have.
I like some of the other effects on it too, like your W shield gives you the diamond underneath you.
It's because you get those resistances. Harden up.
Ares spamming that Kog'Maw laugh already.
Heck yeah, you can do that when you're dead as well. So if you're in a Catholic surprise, you can cheer and cheer.
Oh, it's not like corpse dead.
Oh, no, not corpse dead. When you're passive dead.
Right.
So you're still running at your enemy. You can fanfare at them.
It's also got the Pugma Chroma skin, able to get the...
Is he? Oh.
Yeah, it's the Bulldog or whatever. Well, that's a horrible time to walk into a brush area. I'm trying to talk about your skin!
It's all right. He's doing his business. Got to mark your territory before you get in the game. So he'll be set up. Looks like Freak's Dog. Looks like puns.
We'll see if we get the level 2 gank round 3 out of Meteos. He's been very effective with them so far, both going to the bot side, but looks instead not to be the case, making his way up top right away.
Early game soil harass again.
Last time that happened, he died right after, so.
That's true. It's like, take this. They're like, oh, wait, take this. So back and forth. We'll see if Peckinwolf can get to the side of the wave here. Oh, what a nuisance. And now clear it with the stars. Bot lane, the ladies of League. Kai'Sa and Morgana for Keith and Fang here. The Void Puppy and Mastermind. The Braum, I guess.
Is that what it's called?
No, he's definitely not.
I don't know what the skin's
The
actually.
heart of the FLYA. Oh, that's Mafia Braum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just making up a name.
Damn, there's Mafias on both sides. Sven's got the Mafia Grave skin.
That's true.
It's gonna be a turf war.
I wonder what family has the better fight. We'll have to find out. 2.5 scuttles cleared. Not so much from Meteos. Focused a little bit more in the jungle. His top scuttle is still hovering around, and he's going to go for more of a goal clear, actually, without making himself present. The last few games we've seen Meteos on that level 2 gank, not so much on the jungle.
Ooh, misses the cannon right there. That's a
feels
little
bad.
Feels bad, man, from Peckinwolf. Once again, going for that level 3 back timing that we're talking about is super standard on Aurelion Soul. Came back with the Dark Seal last time around. Just the same look here. And on that timing, Svenskeren might be looking to do something instead of just going for the counter jungle. Trundle has made his way back down, though, so we might see them bump into each other around the bot side here.
Aries low. Keith is definitely healthy enough to take this fight, but there's no summoner heal on the bot side. Remember, they have a teleport for Keith.
Yep,
it's going to be
here.
Fen coming in late, but there's the double buff for both junglers. Fang goes down, or I'm sorry, Fang drops Quan first. The trade is on to Aries. Cathian Surprise is going to pop, but it's not going to be enough. And Meteos could refresh that double buff. No, he stays alive. And they're going to be able to push the turret 3 strong for Cloud9 Academy.
I'm really surprised to see them not flash in to try and get that 3rd kill, holding their summoners instead and taking the 2 for 0. C9 showing some restraint in the bot lane, and just a really unfortunate timing window there by FlyQuest. Did not have vision of the Krugs. You see a lot of times in lane what people will do when they're getting pushed in early on to the game when they don't know the clear from the enemy, especially when the enemy is red side. You'll see people drop a ward on their Krugs behind them.
Yeah.
Just to get to know if they're doing that, which is a pretty typical path. In fact, they didn't do that, did not cover for that gank by Meteos. They get countered by that early aggression that we see out of the Graves a lot of the time, and that's what really nets them that 2 kills.
Going to feel very good. Sven gets away with an assist, so he can get half his item finished up. I guess he's tied right now with Meteos in that sense. They'll have that pressure around the map, and we'll see here how it happened.
Yep, so they don't check for this play before they go for it. You think the heal, like you said, that summoner advantage might make them safe, but Juan's dead before Meteos even gets into range, which made this pretty risky, and Sven gets the pretty easy cleanup on area as a result. And then Meteos, I was wondering if Keith was going to go for a flash auto attack because he had 4 stacks of the plasma, just needed the 5th. Didn't actually go for that kill, which was, like I said, a little surprising because I'm pretty sure that 300 gold is probably worth a flash. But either way, maybe Meteos would have had the flash reaction, then you're just trading. Meteos had to flash either way, and you just take that advantage for free.
So, the bot lane activation. Wait a minute. Golden Glue in mid, low on mana. Cleanse there, flashes up if he wants to turn around, so he's using the Clockwork Wind up passive with that mana low. I have to say, this is the first time we saw FlyQuest here not really be able to activate in the bottom lane and find power out of Aerie and Quan, giving Meteos a little bit more strength around the map.
Yeah, those 3 guys have been mostly stepping up over the course of this game. Even the last game, which was a bit of a roll by C9, Aerie was still putting out a ton of damage, getting
he was.
Really nice kiting into those skirmishes. Just kind of was behind against a bunch of divers and assassins, which is never going to look good for an immobile marksman. But this time around, not getting ahead once again and going up against a very strong Kai'Sa now on a not very meta pick currently in Kog'Maw.
Yeah. Cole for him as well, so you can see it's kind of laid back or that farming.
That's all right, you guys are winning the lane. Take it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm cashing in at 2 items.
Basically telling the team. A little back and forth. Golden Glue, is he just level 1 shield? Yeah, so 3 on the ball move as I would expect it. It looked like he didn't take too much damage from his protect, so I wondered if he put an extra point in it. What is the idea here, top side? Wave push, a little bit of rotation to offset the map and make Golden Glue think. But it looks like Peckinwolf's just going to do a small rotation. Aerie low here as so much pressure continues on this bottom turret.
Yeah, trading outside some pressure. FlyQuest commits to kind of pushing up on the top side. Shiro's here to defend now. Might be going for the solo kill. It's going to be tough for him to do.
Absolutely. Imagine if Golden Glue had gotten the roam up. He actually just used his shockwave in mid lane onto Peckinwolf.
Yeah, he's trying to control Peckinwolf so he can't get down to influence either of those pushes that's happening in the top and bot side. If he can neutralize the Aurelion Soul, this is great for them for this dive.
Oh, the end of the line, full damage. They're literally set up and taken down here. Svenskeren, he's going to spend a little too long across enemy lines and go down. But they are kind of getting the... Actually, they didn't get much on the bot lane. That was 1 for Fang, so I take it back. That was just more for Svenskeren.
1 for Fang and denying a fair amount of CS, and that's why you saw Golden Glue trying to blow that ultimate in the mid lane to stop Peckinwolf from being able to trade back, because if he's not there, maybe you see Svenskeren getting the 2nd kill on Quan. Either way, that's not going to work out. The initial dive attempt is when they only had the timing window for this to work, and this one works out fine. They land the binding, but about 15 seconds ago, they looked for a similar opportunity. Maybe it was like 20 seconds ago, but the binding missed. And that was the big problem, because I think they communicated Aurelion Soul moving up to the top lane, so then they start making their own play on the bot side, which this time they had the pink ward and the brush behind them, which is why Peckinwolf stopped going up to the top side. You saw them maybe taking that blast going over together, and he says, oh, no, I need to go down, like, I have to cover my Kog'Maw. It's way more important to do that. So you saw him break away from the top side play, and he would not have gotten down there in time for that binding land, so quite unfortunate. And there is the Poppy. Reason you take it into Aatrox.
Little counter bit. I also like the chains move, where you can shift out of the chains if there's minions around. Oh,
That's no good.
Pillar's gonna stop, Subjugate goes on. That wasn't within range of the turret, so Noah's gonna get there too close before the minions. World Ender goes on. They're gonna go ahead and give this one to No. He'll go down to the turret, and he'll be back up nice and healthy to take this one down with Meteos.
Good answer by FlyQuest. As soon as that first play in the bot side turns south, they quickly flip their lane up to the top lane, and this is why I was saying it's so important to be able to have more than just a tank in the top lane when playing with the Aurelion Soul and stuff like that, so that if things don't work out in the bot lane, you can actually start making your own plays elsewhere on the map.
I don't think we've really seen the position of bot lane change. They've been at that 75% push mark. Ari and Quan forced to farm under their turret, and Keith and Fang are always ready. Like, Svenskeren, you want to dive again? We are ready.
It's a complete split map situation.
Finally down.
Yeah, finally they get their own turret. And like you're saying, this is a split map situation. Ari and Quan know they're too weak to fight any 3v3s, and they are in full defensive mode. Sit under your turret, farm up as best you can, try to stem the bleeding while your team gets advantage in the top lane. It's about a 30 CS lead bot, 20 CS lead top, plus the kill with both laners having those. So FlyQuest is not in as terrible as a spot as you might have thought after that initial gank got turned. They've done a good job reacting to what happened, but still on the back foot. And now there's Infernal Drake, so that's not feeling so hot.
No. For C9, it feels good. Bomby Cinder for Shiro as well, so he can kind of stand toe-to-toe with No even more now. We're going to swap these lanes up and see where everybody kind of falls into place. Good wards for C9 as they placed for the Dragon. They might lose a little bit of that vision, but we should see vision overall heading towards top side of the map now, with that Rift Herald being a bit of a priority. Somebody wants to get their hands on it.
Yeah, we can expect to see Svenskeren start swapping the pressure up to the top side with his bot lane moving up there as well, which bodes very well for their objective control that they had gotten on the bot side, as Svenskeren had hopped the wall, and now, Meteos in some trouble.
Flash over, Soul Shackle forces the flash, so summoner for summoner. It looks like they'll be able to push this top side. Svenskeren pushing in just for a bit of vision to make sure they will be safe to go up a little bit further here. In mid lane, still toe-to-toe, Peckinwolf, Golden Glue not letting each other leave, but also giving each other a hard time.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Like, this is a similar story to Game 1 where Peckinwolf has not actually influenced either side lane on the Aurelion Soul pick, which usually means you are in for a rough time come the mid and late game because you're not playing Aurelion Soul from ahead. But that's what we said last time, and he ended up 5-0-3 at 20 minutes and kind of carried a lot of the team fight. Yeah. So once again, I am going to hold my tongue this time around to see how he's able to play this one out, because you know, FlyQuest at 1,000 gold down is definitely not out of the game with a scaling Kog'Maw and an Aatrox with side lane pressure.
It is a differently, you said it a few games ago, but it is definitely different play style from his Aurelion Soul.
Here we go.
Like he can dance around the fight. Oh, Killer Instinct goes in. Great block by Quan as he throws the tank up. He gets pushed into the wall though. Glacial Fissure goes back. They instantly lose Meteos from 100 to 0. It's like he had no resistances on that with the follow-up damage. Shocking off from C9 as they pressure onto the top side of the map here. Just 12 minutes in, and FlyQuest has to respect everything about it.
Yeah, that was a very interesting play for a lot of reasons. One, C9's bot lane is exposed in the top side of the map, and it's very tempting to want to go up there and gank it, but we know that is their strong side, and so you're opting into fighting that strong Kai'Sa. And they also had a lot of wards behind them, so Shiro could TP in, and No did not really have any wards near where that fight was starting. Right. And because Meteos had traded his flash out 1-for-1 from the force of Fang, it was very easy for Shiro then to collapse and get the kill. So that was just really good communication by C9, knowing what summoners were available and where they were not.
The timing on this as well. Shiro just reached that wave as No hit the turret, so missing a canyon still gets to clean up quite a bit. So plays across the map for him, coast to coast, coming up big. And look at the vision that's been left by Cloud9 as well. They are privy to everything FlyQuest will be doing if they have to cross the river. And right now, they're standing in the face of Golden Glue, so they're happy to set up and take the fight if it comes. Shockwave onto him. Soul Shackle's down. Remember, Morgana just used that. Actually, back up as the fight's been over a minute now. And that could be Fang going down as he stepped too far forward. His flash is down from the last fight. That is one thing that has not come off cooldown. Golden Glue, eyes on Svenskeren.
Oh, it timed out.
And No goes down. A beautiful play by C9 to collapse onto that one. Keith, picks the perfect time to fire in. And now Cloud9 have an upper hand coming into mid. A 1 for 2 so far, and FlyQuest only have 3 left.
You said perfect time to fire in there by Keith. Sometimes we exaggerate that term, but I think that was literally, you know, frame perfect. Last missile of the barrage, getting the damage to actually kill No. That was a great play by No to come in, and we're talking about the mid-game Aatrox usage being lacking in the last blue side game. Looking much better this time around, but Keith, the perfect punish.
Whoa.
Now, Ben.
One on the wall, they can keep him slowed, shield
the
keep
TP
mid-range
came in.
because of speed. No's gonna be able to close that distance, but they now find 2 Cloud9 members also entering the fight. Dark Binding hits. Oh, Kathy and Rain almost drops Quan as they skirt out of this fight.
Whew. So C9 able to disengage that, getting the TP out of No as well. So still a trade up for them despite the tense situation. Hopefully we get another look at that.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, so Peckenwolf kind of getting engaged on, probably up a little bit further than he wants to. Does a very short escape to just dodge the binding, but then gets hit by that.
He throws it on really early.
Yeah, he throws it on. This is actually the right time to use that. You charge into the fight, use the move speed to gap close, and then get it to full max stacks. And then watch this Q here by Keith, shoots it out. And it was literally the last part of the Kathy and Rain that killed him right as the passive timed out. Like you said, literally perfect timing to get that kill.
No knew it too. He's like, I need to flash, and it still is like, I already
No, what
got
you shouldn't do is you shouldn't flash.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's like, is it hitting me? Can I get out of the range? No, you can't, sir.
Yeah, it was actually a big mistake to flash it. You should stay in there and let your passive proc. The extra travel time on the missiles might have been the difference.
Ooh, good point, good point. Now on to Shiro here on the bot side. The chains will bring him back to center. And he's got a while to fight this one out. I wonder if he can get any cavalry to come through. He's gonna walk for a bit. Steadfast presence gives him some more time, but the knocks up, they're still long enough to give that advantage to No. And man, does he skirt out with a little bit of health. Shiro's playing strong.
Yeah, once again, Peckenwolf's Aurelion still coming online a little bit more in the mid game once the turrets start dropping, able to find people in sideways, strapping it out, and that's another part that's nice about the Aatrox is when you're going for these side lane plays, it's not a tank versus a tank that you're killing, you're helping your Aatrox get some extra items so that he can become much more threatening in team fights.
The turnaround is always a collapse from C9. That kill in the bot for Peckenwolf was a Rift Herald for Sven Skaren, top turret for Keith, and now a 4,000 gold lead on the dot, 15 minutes in for C9.
And that's one of the nice things about having pressure in a game is that when the enemy does finally commit to a play, if you're not 5-man, you usually have someone else forcing something down. And the fact that the enemy team's just getting kills because you're pressuring and you're getting turrets is a huge advantage for them.
Next on the menu for C9, they have a bot turret to protect, but I don't think that'll even get too much pressure. Outer turrets eventually fall. So they now have a second tier mid to look at. Still got 3 minutes onto Baron. Ocean Drake is going to be picked up here. C9 basically owns everything to the river and maybe even a little bit over. Not all of FlyQuest jungle just yet, though.
Yeah. Working around the entrances to the jungle. Fang wants deeper vision, though. Has to be a little careful to go get that. Settles
Soil
for one
checks.
right outside. And like you said, the soil check useful for people who don't know. Your Ares still goes flying out if you hit someone, so even though the soil doesn't get vision, now you know someone's in that brush.
Is it still like a spell vamp thing?
Yeah, her passive? Yeah, pretty sure.
But do you get it? Can you spell vamp check if you didn't have Aerie? Does that happen?
I
Sure
don't
if you
think
get like an emblem or something.
I don't think the tick is
Like
enough.
you're vamping, yeah.
No, there's no emblem, but
Right.
if you hit someone with a binding and you see like, you know, plus 15 HP, plus 20 HP,
Yeah.
you got it.
Easy. Quick clear here in the bot lane, and we see FlyQuest prioritizing quite a bit of strength, which leaves Shiro alone. This is the waiting game for Cloud9. How close is Shiro is how close Cloud9 can be.
Yeah, I mean, 17 minutes in the game, C9 with a comfortable gold lead, but still need to be careful as they look at these plays. You can see them playing it pretty close with Sven holding his E to get over the Trundle pillar.
I like this ping back here on the bottom right. Behind the turret.
Weird ping.
Back here, go! It looks like that actually meant fight. If we go through them, we need to go all the way back there. Teleport coming in. Shiro gets top lane pushing in. They instantly drop Meteos. He can't subjugate anybody in the fight. Shiro flashes over the wall in the heated turret and lives as they drop Quan. No, flying in from the side with World Ender on to 2v1. He gets stunned up against the wall, giving Golden Glue just enough time to dance. And they both stay alive as Cloud9 orchestrates themselves and their health bars around a
Shiro still wants to go.
It definitely looks like it. Back towards Airy, back towards No. Shiro could go down here unless he 2v1s. He only got the 1 in the 2v1 so far, but Cloud9 able to take these fights with slivers of health and still confidently press forward.
Yeah, still a very well-fought situation by FlyQuest. I think Shiro deserves a lot of credit for that instant wall stun onto Meteos, once again allowing his team to pop the Trundle before he can get his ultimate off.
Yeah.
And that's the thing when you play a tank into the Trundle is he's always going to be stealing those resists, which makes him so much harder to kill. But until then, he's just base HP plus the Cinderhulk and then plus a Tiamat. So really not tanky at all. And that wall stun that was instant as soon as that TP finished completing.
And we'll see how it happens, because that's almost, you think you know it's a Poppy coming in, why put yourself right here?
Because the Orianna's coming through the wave above you.
That's
so you
true.
See, if you cut
That's
up in
true.
there, you're running right
there as well.
You cut right to Orianna. So I think the decision I can understand from Meteos, and you're not thinking it's going to quite be that instant. So you're going to say, all right, I'll run through the Poppy. I'll drop my E or my R as soon as I see the Poppy. But the stun was just way too fast. And here, Shiro wants to go as we see another fight in the mid lane.
Shockwave just on a Braum Shield, unbreakable up as the ball moves forward. The team looks to pressure as well. Meteos wants to get in from the side and just stop them so they can't follow. Rift Herald, not really an initiated fight here from FlyQuest, but they are looking for small grabs. Plasma forward. Keith does not take the killer instinct. They do have some summoners up. Keith will need to get back with teleport, so he has to be careful. Can't really get in to a flash situation.
No, but at the same time, Shiro's working down the bot lane turret by himself. FlyQuest is trying to get around.
Nice dodge there on his fence. Garen, Black Shield was great from Fang. Voice of Light shreds a lot of health here, and FlyQuest may be able to activate as No comes up. Shiro has the back line, though, and he is causing chaos. No tries to get out of World Ender, and he's dropped by 4 members of Cloud9. Shiro himself 4v1s the back line.
Super well done. Both top laners found angles onto the back lines, but right as No popped his World Ender, it was a beautiful binding by Fang to lock him down, whereas no one stopped Shiro from getting in there. And it didn't seem like Airy was aware that that was coming. Gets instantly wall stunned and blown up by Golden Glue. This Kog'Maw, who had just finished his Blade of the Rune King, maybe thinking he could fight. Not at all the case, and that's the perfect timing to transition that fight onto Baron buff. Meteo's still alive with Flash.
Oh boy.
Not gonna get a chance though.
Meteos just came up. He just goes down as Fang tries to throw down the crowd control. Loses himself. And a good kill for FlyQuest as they want to push forward. Without Meteos, it's going to be a very hard Baron to steal in the follow-up fight. Shiro wants in, and Shiro gets himself another one with the help of Golden Glue picking up that kill. Pickerel falls down.
Shiro having another great game on this Poppy. I said whenever I saw it, I absolutely loved it. And once again, instant wall stuns onto priority targets, making sure people can't get their ultimates off. There, nice follow-up onto Heckenwolf after he ejects No from the TP, making sure his team can get out scot-free with Baron. Fang getting a little over-eager, trying to zone away the rest of the team. You see Keith able to take the Plasma in there and instantly get the kill, but the binding missed, and then once the binding misses, the flash ult not going to be nearly as effective. So they have to disengage out of there. Golden Glue also missing the ult. Here comes the TP, and you're wondering, all right, 3v4. They're kind of low HP without much cooldowns. Maybe they can take it, but nope, back to a 4v2. Go right back to where you came from, Aatrox, and my team's going to skedaddle out of there with the Baron buff.
You know, you and Captain Flowers were talking about Poppy yesterday. She still has that factor when she enters a fight if she's been given just a little bit of room in her lane. Such a menace and can control an entire backline by herself. What a champion and what a play by Shiro coming to the semifinals. Shockwave down, Airy almost going down to the 2v1 there. They're going to get it with Shiro with that cleanup kill. He's going to go ahead and walk forward as they look for Keith to teleport in. Quan now. The Glacial Fisher sidesteps. He may go down. The shield's pointed forward with the damages coming in from the side. One last pick to take him down, but he lives. No collateral damage coming in from Senscarin. Now it's going to be Meteos and No looking to go down. Meteos has already fallen. No will follow shortly as Peckinwolf watches his teammates crumble. 17-7.
4 for 1 for C9. It was a good look by FlyQuest to find the pick off on the enemy mid laner, but Keith goes man mode and charges in there at the end of the fight, and the stopwatch buying enough time for Fang to get the black shield onto and make sure that they win that. Respawn timers, though, still too short at 22.5 minutes to actually be able to close that game out. And they're gonna reset.
It seems like the upped pace is always now in favor of Cloud9. Last game, over a kill a minute. This game, just as bloody, over a kill a minute, and Cloud9 stepping up to the plate is more prepared each time they have to go into a fight.
And FlyQuest have always been at their best in Academy when they are playing these slower paced games and letting Meteos play either the tempo game or the objective control game. When they start getting into these really scrappy skirmishes and constant team fighting, I don't think it works to their advantage. And here, it's a good idea to try and get the Baron buff off somebody. They instantly get the kill, but they should be in full retreat mode right after that. And the fact that Keith is able to get the TP and the W means he can go in on Quan, able to get around that Braum ultimate, just barely getting the supercharger off to do that. And then Meteos realizing he needs to re-engage with no onto Keith, but the stopwatches come through. Keith gets the black shield right then, is able to run out of that fight, and then the rest of C9 still having plenty of damage, and Shiro plenty of tankiness to charge forward.
Strong play out of C9 here. Our biggest lead in gold in the semifinal so far, just over 10,000 coming in for Cloud9. It's going to be very hard to come back for FlyQuest. They found it at just about this time, but not from this deficit in game one. It was much smaller, and they don't have as many ins this game.
No, they only have 10 seconds left on Baron buff. We'll see if they decide to try and end the game here. Shiro's going to wrap around, but it does feel a little bit difficult, despite the gold lead, to actually go ahead and finish this game out.
Hard to even get that wave clear in there. They try to activate on a Shiro. Oh my God! Shockwave absolutely deleting FlyQuest. In comes the damage from Keith. Eyes onto him as he is flowing forward. But the shotgun shells from Svenskeren are what is leveling the team. There's the triple kill coming in. It's going to be Keith over Svenskeren's for the full house. The ace for Cloud9. They're onto the Nexus turrets, and Cloud9 is moving on, not to be snuffed out this year by FlyQuest, and a fine victory in Game 4 of the semifinals.
C9 moving on to the finals where CLG Academy awaits them. And it feels like a clash a long time in the making, as both these teams have been vying at the top of the tables all Academy split long.
It really has. We will see both boys in blue take to the stage for that final matchup to push each other to the limits. And the game today here played out to 4, almost pushed to 5. Sorry, Mark, didn't meet your requirements.
My something must have been off with me today. I always get 5-game series, but I don't know what happened.
Nothing was really off with Cloud9 after they found themselves in that loss situation. They turned it back on.
And Keith in particular turned it on. A rough start to game one a little bit, and then
you had your eye on him.
Yeah, some rough team fighting game one, some rough late in game two, but after that, he absolutely smashed. And a lot of comps were built around him, so you see the team does put a lot of trust in them. And how pumped C9 is winning that series. Everyone in the crowd giving the love. And I really liked what I saw. Two very different styles of C9 Academy. You have the mid lane snowball focus when they take the Fizz and the Lee Sins, and then they have the bot lane carry hyper focus where they take multiple supportive mages and empower Keith to go off in those team fights. You saw that last one when he has the Ori shield on him. He has his own ultimate, and he has the Morgana black shield. He's up to around 3,000 HP as an unstoppable hyper carry. Pretty damn scary.
Awesome stuff all around. Credit as well from the start of picks and bans. They figured out they had to hit Quan. You had to get that Alistar out of there because it was causing so much trouble and it could not be repaired after he was in your back line.
And I think a pretty good showing by FlyQuest, all things considered. I mean, Meteos absolutely took over game one and should have won game two with how well he was playing.
Oh, man.
Really
fast start. What is it, 8 minutes, 75 range, 4 stack ability?
Yeah, really impressive, getting kills in basically all 3 lanes at 10 minutes. That was tough to see them lose that game, but I think he had a great showing for himself. Like you said already, Quan on the Alistar looked great. Airy had some good moments. Peckenwolf on LeBlanc. No, having his tank engages on the Scion was fantastic. And I think all 3 guys of FlyQuest stepped up and kind of silenced some of the critics, saying that they were basically just carried last split by their mid-jungle duo.
Absolutely true. You know, right now we are going to send it down to Avali May and Cloud9's Academy's top laner to hear more.
Thanks, guys. Shiro, congratulations on the win, knocking out FlyQuest, who knocked you guys out last split, and now qualifying for Academy Finals. How important was this win to you?
This is important, or it was really important for us because last split we got knocked out by FlyQuest 3-0, and we choked a lot on stage. But however, this time we didn't choke, and I think we played pretty well.
But yeah, this time you played, you were in complete control. And I want to talk about your Poppy play because it looked like you were running interference that entire last game. So tell me, what was your game plan?
I mean, we just wanted to play bot side, like with the draft. So like we just picked Poppy into, I think he played Wait, I actually don't even remember anymore.
That's how good the pop.
Oh, it was a good matchup, but like I just stay top and farm, and oh yeah, he was playing Aatrox. I just outscale him later on, so like we can just play bot side without worrying like I would lose later. So we just stacked my lane and we went everywhere.
And we know that No is a strong and pretty aggressive top laner. So how did you prepare for maybe any unexpected matchups that you would face against him today?
I actually didn't really expect the Sion picks. I think it has potential, but I don't think he played it too well, honestly. But I didn't really expect any other picks.
Well, you handled it well. So what's actually interesting about Cloud9 Academy is you guys basically had the entire roster swap back and forth with the main roster on LCS, except you were the one staple on Academy. So what was it like cycling between all of these players, and how did you retain that synergy?
Definitely feels pretty weird. I'm playing with like 9 different players. But I feel like everyone on the team meshes together like pretty well. Like no matter who you swap out, I think everyone will mesh together, and everyone just has like good teamwork with each other.
Was there anyone in particular who stood out to you as like a great player or maybe a mentor?
For me, I think Grayson for sure. Like he does a lot of the shot calling and stuff, and he teaches me a lot about the game. So definitely him as my mentor.
Oh, we hear ahs from the audience, from your staff. But you guys take on Cloud9 Academy next week, and I believe we have Wiggly on the desk. So what do you think about Cloud9 Academy? Is there anything you want to say to him? Excuse me, CLG Academy.
We're coming for Wiggly.
Coming for you, Wiggly. You heard it. Shiro, thank you. Wiggly, what's your response?
Ooh, fighting words!
Oh my gosh, coming for me? Whoa, that's some fighting words there, Shiro.
Wow, you look shook.
I'm so shook right now, guys.
Wow.
Shiro's just a very intimidating individual, honestly. Like every time I see him, it's just I get a little bit nervous.
Heart rate
shaking
comes
a little
up.
bit, just a little bit.
I
right
can
now.
tell. I mean, you're actually literally shivering in front of me. Like you can't sit still.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just one of these. You're just like, I'm gonna gank him. He's gonna flash my Graves ult, and Kobe's face palming. Anyway, 3-1 victory for Cloud9. They changed some players around so that they can win series.
yeah, change some players around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Better
players?
jungler wins.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, better jungler wins. Okay.
Perfect.
I didn't know you were Team Cloud9, freak.
I'm not. I'm team smack talk people on the desk.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
All right.
This
Yeah.
is a good start. So Cloud9, they won the 4th game of the series. We have a highlight reel of Cloud9 winning that the game overall, and honestly, it was a really fun one to be a part of. Like just we got a lot of really aggressive games, a lot of team fights by the end of it all, and that was just like a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think overall, like you said, better jungle wins. I think that even the games that Meteos played really well in, I think Svenskeren was overall probably the most consistent player throughout the series for Cloud9. And yeah, I think every game he had a large impact. So yeah, I think he was a big contributor to their success.
Yeah, I think they really improved a lot in their team play after the loss. I think they did a very good job of, staying composed on stage. A lot of things are going around, after the FlyQuest won game #1 and remembering back to last time with the 3-0 and everything. There's a lot of, chances there for them to, have those on stage kind of pitfalls where things start to fall apart. But in the last 3 games there for Cloud9, they did like a much more well-coordinated group.
Yeah, and it was a team with a plan. It's another one, much like you guys did yesterday. Leave up the Aatrox, willing to counterpick a tank matchup into it, and sort of time and again now, it's working really well. Aatrox still lane bullies. He had like a 25-30 CS lead. FlyQuest even got first turret up there as well. Like a lot went right for Aatrox, and then C9 is able to transition into team fights and did a really good job kind of carrying it out, letting their backline damage do their jobs.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just showed that. I think Kai'Sa won almost every single game this series. It felt like whatever team just picked for scaling and just didn't lose early game super hard, just ended up winning. So maybe that's going to be like a bigger focus in our final games against them, or we'll find out. But
I mean, Ari tried with this one, right? He went for the Kog'Maw. Unfortunately, a lot of pressure came down there. There was a lot of Graves showing up. There was quite a few ganks coming through as well. I think it started him like 0 and 2 at the very beginning of the game. It's like, that's going to be rough to get through.
Yeah, that split map really, really favored Cloud9, having so much extra pressure down there. Whereas, the pressure on top side versus Poppy, Poppy was down CS, but Poppy can just fall back, build tank, have health later in the game.
Yeah.
As long as he teleports in, it still takes longer to kill the Poppy off with 4 members than it does to kill off the Aatrox, even with the ult going.
Yeah.
So still was able to be more effective, and yet he was the one with the fed bottom lane because Cloud9 jungle got to split bottom side.
Yeah, and that was good focus, right? That was Svenskeren going to the right place, making sure that lane looked very good. Now, for another interview, let's send it back to Avli for a word with Cloud9's mid laner.
Thanks, guys. Golden Glue, congratulations on the win against FlyQuest. They 3-0'd you in the spring. Before this game, they called you guys washed up. So how does it feel to take today's win?
Well, feels pretty good that we beat them. Like last time when we lost to them, we were like the heavy favorites, and we also had like enormous gold leads every single game. So it felt good to finally clean them up in this game. 3-1 them. Felt good.
Now, in that one game that you guys lost, it was the first game. So was there an oh no, it's happening again moment, or what was the team mentality?
We definitely realized that we had a little bit of nerves in the game 1. Like we haven't played on the academy team hasn't played on stage together yet. And for a little bit I was like, oh no, not this again. But we brought it back and didn't really feel too nervous going into game 2.
And Shiro gave you a little bit of a shout out as a good player, good teammate. What did you think of his performance as well as the rest of the teams?
Shiro was like popping off the whole set. He was like doing really well in lane. He was pressuring roams. I thought he did really well. Yeah.
Now, you and Sven were actually subbed in on the main roster a couple weeks ago to take down Team Liquid, #1 team in the LCS. And now going into playoffs, we have the 7-man roster deal where you two might be able to make an appearance again. So what would it mean for you to take the stage during playoffs?
I mean, it would mean so much to me because I've been in the scene for a long time and I've never actually played in the LCS playoffs. And it's just another opportunity for me to prove myself and prove like me and Dennis are, pretty strong pair of players. So I think it would mean a lot to both of us.
And before you get there, you have to take down CLG Academy as well as Wiggly. Is there anything you'd like to say to him or say to the rest of the team?
Well, I'm just saying, when we had Wiggly, we lost versus FlyQuest. And now that we don't have him, we beat FlyQuest. So we'll see what happens in the finals.
Grayson, thank you, and best of luck with that game. Guys, it's back to you at the desk.
I love you, Wiggly. I love you.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Looks like Grayson's listened to Freak.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a really difficult one to come up with, guys. Wow. The guy wasn't on the team. They lost. Oh, it's really funny, guys.
You're just under the bus. They just smash you down. Complete flame.
Yeah. Well, it's funny right now, but we do play them next week,
Yep,
so we'll
7
see how
days.
funny it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna
My
camp
guess
mid?
is it's probably not going to be as funny when we're shaking their hands at the end of the game, but we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
3-0?
3-0? I mean,
Every time.
we like to bring it to game 5 here at CLG.
I
okay?
see. Okay.
We're a game 5 team.
Okay.
We like to have the fans win, not
Yeah.
just us, So
Yeah.
it's going to be a game 5 series for sure.
All right.
I like
You're gonna
that.
give him 2 games for good measure.
Yeah,
And clap in the end.
I'll give Grayson 2 games after that comment. Maybe get his hopes up a little bit. I'm going to have to come short.
No ganks mid for the first 2 games. Promise here.
And then he goes 0-12-0
Jungler's
the rest of the
honor.
series.
Mm,
Are you gonna outsmite Svenskeren?
I mean,
Do you have it in you?
I would hope I have it in me.
Okay. Well, speaking of players having it in them, speaking of Svenskeren, the Academy players put their best foot forward today in the series. My brain no longer works. But one player stood above the rest to earn Player of the Series, and today the honor goes to the jungler Svenskeren on Cloud9 Academy. There's that bot lane camp.
Yeah, I mean, even in the games, like I was saying, that Meteos was popping off and we were talking about Meteos the whole time. I feel like Svenskeren, he was just quietly performing well in all those games. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then he came back at him immediately with the Olaf. That was a super strong performance. We just saw the clip there of the Graves game. They were able to split the map, win bottom side super hard for Keith and allow Keith on the Kaisa to scale up super nicely. We all know how well that turns out for the late game.
Yeah.
So I think he was instrumental in the win conditions in the games that they did win.
Yeah, absolutely huge player, and we'll see what it's going to look like next week. Looking ahead, Cloud9's victory advances them to the finals, where they will play Wiggly and the rest of Cloud9 Gaming Academy. We've already talked the predictions to death. They're going to clap you. You think they're going to clap them. You'll give them the 5th game. That'll make it look close, but that's going to be exciting. Same bat time, same bat place. Next Friday, 3 o'clock local time. Wiggly 3-2 victory.
Yep, 3-2.
3-2 victory. Beautiful. 1 week to go until Academy Worlds Finals. Until then, there's more league action coming up tomorrow with the first round of the NALCS playoffs. Echo Fox taking on TSM. Beginning of that one, 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest the next day. What are your thoughts?
I mean, Fox has been looking pretty so-so recently, and TSM's kind of been on the upswing, so I'm probably going to have to side with TSM on that one. And 100 versus Fly is kind of just a coin flip, really.
Really?
I feel like both teams have just been kind of all over the place in their last games. So
Even though 100 Thieves 2 had the tiebreak day.
yeah, it wasn't very convincing to me.
Sure.
I mean, they look kind of shaky, even in their wins, so.
I mean, most teams this split have looked shaky in the North American LCS,
That's
so I
true.
can't argue with that.
All right, well, going to be exciting stuff. If that's also too long to wait, then of course stick around. The EU rebroadcast of their first quarterfinal matchup between Schalke 04 and Splice will come up in just a few minutes, so check that one out. Now for myself, the casters.